Hello everybody and welcome back to Lost in the World. Hope you're feeling good. So today's Genshin Impact video is about advanced battle mechanics and just advancing and pushing on your total team damage and how to do that. I feel like once you learn how to do that, the whole game becomes a lot more engaging, especially in the battle mechanics and setting up your big damage numbers, because we all like big damage numbers. Before I let you in though on all that information and my amazing color coordinated Excel spreadsheet of elemental reactions, it's a quick reminder we do have a 3,800 primogem giveaway going on. The draw will be made November the 30th. All you got to do is sub on YouTube and comment, letting me know you've subbed, and then follow on Twitch. You don't have to do both, you can do one. Either or gets you in on the draw. If you do both, you get in on the draw twice. Simple as. Okay, here comes the spreadsheet of joy. Okay, so this is the elemental reaction spreadsheet I have. And the whole point of this is to basically remind myself of how the reactions work in the game. And that's because there's a lot to take in and it's not always easy to remember the correct order or what procs off what or what characters elemental mastery will affect what reaction. So this is simply a constant reminder to me until I do actually remember all this stuff, which considering I'm a boomer is probably never. But it's just important to know. And that's because what this sheet tells you is the order in which certain elemental reactions need to happen for you to maximize your damage, as well as which reactions are going to happen through elemental mastery. And then in turn, you need to know, right, which characters have you built elemental mastery on, which characters have you built attack, crit, and all that stuff on. So it's important to really remember this. Now, just looking at this, what this tells me is my DPSs, really, you'd probably be better off having your DPSs as melt or vaporize proccing characters. Why? Because that type of damage scales really, really well into the late game. While Elementary's Mastery, the scaling seems to get worse after 250. Now, don't get me wrong, it still scales, but you get less bang for your buck after 250. So that's why Melt and Vaporize comps are so strong. So if you're looking at this, you're thinking, do I have a Pyro character that deals large on-hit damage in one hit, or do I have a Hydro character who deals large on-hit damage in one hit? And that is why characters like Klee, Dilute, Child, Mona, who has a very strong charge attack, they're all classed as S tier because they are Hydro Pyro characters that have a large on-hit move. And that's why those characters are elevated to the higher tier. Now that doesn't mean elemental reactions through elemental mastery are bad, but they're a great addition to your damage. But while your main big procs of damage are coming from your melt and vaporize comps, and that's why you're getting a lot of these YouTube videos with these huge child numbers, because he's a Hydro character, which if you proc on Pyro gives double damage to his already insane melee ultimate, which has a 700% multiplier on it. So when you start getting into these numbers, you really start having a lot more fun with your combat mechanics. The power curve is proving itself through the gameplay that you're doing and seeing on screen yourself. But let's talk about the, what I call transformative reactions. Jinx and Tuna are amazing, by the way. I will link them down below. They're fantastic. But the other reactions, why are they good? Because they're a lot easier to build for. The top two reactions, though they do a lot more damage, as you can see, they trigger off character level, attack, some elemental mastery, elemental damage, and the enemy resistance. That's a lot more expensive to build for, and that's why you should always be focusing on your DPSs first if they melt and vaporize comps. In terms of the others, level and elemental mastery is pretty easy to build for, right? You just get the artifacts for those stats, for the elemental mastery, and stack it on. Now, that doesn't mean that it's not good. Elemental Mastery, if we're looking at some of these, they are good numbers. Electroshock actually procs twice, so sometimes the damage numbers you see in charts and whatnot don't count for the double proc, but it is still strong. As is Superconduct if you're running a physical build. So let's say you're running a Razor and you're running physical damage. You want to be running Cryo without a shadow of doubt because it doesn't matter what order you put those in. The strength of the reaction in the purple section I've got there is based on the elemental mastery of the reacting character. So it doesn't matter. So in this example, let's say we did Superconduct, it has a small AoE and the physical debuff. Physical debuff triggers no matter what. If your Electro character has 0 elemental mastery and he triggers a Superconduct, your AoE damage is going to be small. Cryo character has huge elemental mastery and he triggers the reaction, the AoE will be a lot more damaging. Overload actually scales quite well and is cheap to build for. So if you do need cheap fire damage, put a lot of elemental mastery on either an electro or a pyro character and have them trigger. Fischl would be a great example there. Stack a lot of elemental mastery over, run a pyro character, and have the Fischl proc overload. Easy, free damage. Freeze, a little bit quirky the way it works, but basically you cryo and hydro and then you shatter with the claymore. So anyway, those are the reactions, and really I'm trying to be as quick as possible here, but long story short, the top two reactions there, your DPS should be proccing them. If you don't proc with pyro and hydro, you do it the other way around, as you can see in the brackets there, you get 150% damage bonus. Still good, but not as good as 200%. And the trick comes really in the middle of combat while dodging and proccing and all that stuff, is keeping this in mind and being able to get the most out of the damage. Geo has the lowest damage of all, but you got to remember the caveat and the payoff there is that you get a shield, so it's balanced that way. You get a damage mitigating shield, but you do less damage with the actual element itself. Okay, so just gonna quickly just show some examples of elemental mastery working, melt and vaporize working, just to give you a rough idea of how you would do a damage rotation involving elements. Okay, so let's just try and do some examples of elemental reactions. I'm going to switch out Venti. What's this? Oh, lovely. That'll help level her up. Right, let's switch out Venti and put in someone who we can do some more basic reactions with, really. I forgot who's in my team now. He's in my team. He's in my team. She's in my team. Cryo would be a good shout. Right. So here we've got some basic reactions. We've got Vaporize through Diluc and Child. We've got Electroshock through Fischl and Child. We've got Pyro Overloaded through Fischl, Diluc. And we've got Melt through Diona and Diluc. We've also got Freeze through Diona and Child. And Superconduct through Fischl and Diona. So there's a lot to get through. Okay, let's go with the easier ones first. So we're going to do Melt. So that's Diona into Diluc. There you see the Melt. It's on a single on hit. They've still got Pyro on them, Cryo on them even. Because I hit multiple enemies, and there you go. Okay, now they've got Overloaded, but he's decided to hit him. Is it going to hit him? No, it's not. Brilliant. Oh, now that procced off the Diluc hit, and he doesn't have high elemental mastery, so that won't do a lot. So now we've got this guy's shield off, so we're going to do fire damage into Overloaded, but with Fischl as the reactor here. That's the difference in damage there. Her elemental mastery is a lot higher than Diluc's, so her Overloaded reaction was a lot higher. Now we are going to try a Tartaglia Melt, a Child Vaporize combo. So we are going to proc that. Two are on fire. That vaporizes on his ult. That's Electro Charge into, see the double procs there of Electro Charge. Alright, so we're going to increase Diluc's physical damage through Superconduct. So, physical damage here is, let's have a look, oh, this blooming, these things are right, we've got 1594 and 1591, let's see how this goes. So we are going to, this is probably going to kill him actually, but Okay. What's procs there? Superconductor didn't proc. Did it? Oh yeah, it did. His defense is down. There we go. 2033. Just hit him in time. So he's got water on him as a fire element, which is... Let's try again. So we're going to freeze, which is child and... so we are going to do this, and then we're going to do this, and then we are going to shatter. And you see that, the bonus damage there. Okay, so here's a nice example where the enemy is in the water already, so he's already got Hydra on him when he spawns. So really, automatically you're thinking, well, how do I get the most out of this? Obviously, Vaporize would be good. It would be the sort of lower Vaporize because Pyro would proc it, so it would be 150% damage rather than 200. You've got Electro Charge as an option, and the aura will be automatically applied quite soon after the previous proc is done. So what we're going to do is we're going to show an example here. We're going to do, he's already got Hydra on him, he's in water. We're going to do a Vaporize combo with the Pyro as the trigger. We're then going to do Electroshock with Electro as the trigger. And then finally we're going to do Freeze with Cryo as the trigger. Alright, let's go. As you can see, he's got Hydra on him, as you can see by the icon under his health bar. And now, so there you have Vaporize. Okay, let's switch official. Hydro's back on him. We now have Electro charged. Now, I see the Electro is using the aura, so when he goes, we're going to wait for that to go because he'll keep applying Electro and doing Electro charge. Okay, it's gone, and now Diona into the freeze, which now means we can melt with 200% damage. You can see much higher damage number. And he's always going to have Hydra on him because he's in water, so you have to play around that now. So he's now doing this ult, so we're going to freeze. Oh wow. Well, we were meant to freeze him, guys, but it didn't quite happen. Now we go. See, now that helps because he's doing that attack, which is dangerous. If he comes out of it, I can hit him with that and freeze him. Right? Then we can hit with a melt, but okay. He's got water on him. Now this will do a lot of damage because he's frozen. And there we go. And that is basically the basics of elemental reacting and making the combat in Genshin a lot more fun. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments. And yeah, we will get into more advanced stuff as we go down, but as a sort of beginners section and just kind of getting more into the elemental reaction side and really having a lot more fun with the combat, that's a great place to start. And it takes a while to get into it. I mean, when I was first playing, I was just smashing out the skills and the bursts whenever I felt like it. And as you get more into this side of things, you then can start building towards specific reactions and using the environment to your advantage in the fights. But thank you very much. Lost in the World, that is it for this video. Like here, subscribe for free primogems, Twitch as well. Draw November the 30th. Thank you.